This segment is all about exit planning for your business. Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial, and this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to lead their fields, educate consumers, and to leave a legacy. Joining me on this segment is Paul Weisinger. He's an exit planning advisor. Paul, welcome to the program.
Mark, thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your work and specifically, who are the types of clients that you specialize in helping?
Sure, be happy to. So, the type of work we perform for business owners is helping them transition out. Meaning, what we want to do with most of our clients is make sure that our clients understand and are educated on what a good deal looks like. Now, a good deal means something dramatically different for an entrepreneur that's exiting the business with no children, family, et cetera, in the business versus one that does. So there we have competing priorities, different priorities, and we try to help our clients down this path. Many of our clients view this path as though they're walking through a jungle or a forest, which is not true. This is really an asphalt laden path, and our goal is to help them walk this path, rinse and repeat, and help someone else walk down this path to their predetermined objective.
So, the goal of this series is really shedding a light on the importance of exit planning. So, the business owners you work with, they're great at growing their business, but how much do they know about exit planning? What are sort of their preconceived notions?
Well, there's a number of great resources out in the world today. However, they have never done this before. Most entrepreneurs have not done this. If you have a serial entrepreneur, they have some experience. However, most don't. So what will have happen is they have preconceived notions or they hear things from the street on how they should exit. Unfortunately, those paths have potholes. And our job is to point out the potholes, provide education, information, and options for all of our owners.
When you mention the potholes, what are some of the, maybe myths or misconceptions that you see out there that people fall into?
Sure. So let me use the example of a family business or a business that's run by family, which is a little different. So here we'll just use the example that mom and dad have a business and they'd like to exit the business, have generation next come into the business, and they want to do it the best way possible. Well, some of these potholes there, they perceive that there is no path for them, that they don't want to burden the children or the business with some sort of cost. Well, that's just not true. Our job is to make sure that we provide information education and decrease anxiety. So one of the myths is, Paul, I can't get out of my business because I don't want the kids to suffer. Well, they will not suffer. So we're going to stress test a plan that works for you first and then roll it out to generation next.
So it sounds like it takes a little bit of time to get this ready. So my next question would be like, when's the proper time to begin planning for exit? When's the right time?
Well, the right time is now. And that I say that because we're in a space right now where, depending on what the government does and the administration does with taxes, we have some time to prepare. And the last thing we want to do is move at an adrenaline pace because whenever we do something fast, we may do it wrong. So here, for the benefit of, again, mom and dad exiting the business, or maybe just mom and dad selling the business off, we want to make sure that they are able to understand the plan, the goal, the transition, sleep on it again. And normally this does not happen overnight. This requires some time for someone to really digest and feel comfortable because it shifts almost into estate planning. You're having this large liquidation event, and there's so many questions out there that we need to answer about children in the business, children not in the business, blended families, etc.
Great insight. Paul, what inspired you to get into this field and help business owners with their exit planning? How did you get started?
Well, I was lucky enough to be mentored by some great folks in the firm early on in my career. So after over 2.5 decades, uh, this is where I find joy. This is where I really find that I'm solving the problem. We're not just providing a plan and walking away. We're really there with you because that's the true solution, is really providing that path. And it's not just for mom and dad. It starts with them. But then it's also Generation Next coming into the business because Generation Next has not been doing this as long as mom and dad, and they can be expected to understand everything mom and dad do. So we also help them on their journey, on their transition to becoming business owners. And how did I get started again? Great mentors internally, and I find such joy in helping people out.
Terrific. Before I ask you my last question, in regards to exit planning for business owners, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you feel is really important to share?
It's being vulnerable and being open. Most business owners became successful and they did it on their own. Well, here you have to bring a team to the table. And that team may include your spouse, your children, but it's also include wealth management, attorneys, et cetera, because we're better together. And our combined goal of this group is to make sure we help you with your objective.
Sage advice for business owners listening who would love to speak with you. How can they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Sure, great question. So the first place they can go to is our website, which is www.reacpa.com. So Ray and Associates, we have a wonderful teams of people here willing to help. In addition to that, they can always call our phone number and get directed right to me or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to get back to them right away and start helping them on their journey.
Paul, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciated this time as well.
That was Paul Weisinger, and this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to lead their fields, educate consumers, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.